Hello web creators and welcome to the first ever Ask Me Anything session. I'm Ben and we're broadcasting live from the Elementor offices. In the past few weeks, we asked you to send in your questions and boy did you deliver. You sent us hundreds of questions and we gathered them all and filtered them and picked the most urgent ones. And with me to answer all these questions is Amitai Gat, Elementor's VP product. Amitai has led Elementor's product team for the past 2 years. He has implemented cutting-edge development processes. He's also an avid skier and alpine climber. Welcome, Amitai.
Hey, Ben. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here, and I'm not nervous at all.
That's important. And here's the breakdown. In the next 20 minutes, Amitai will answer the questions you submitted. Then we'll have 10 more minutes of live questions that you can write just now in the chat. So I urge you to write your questions in the chat right now. And then after this session, we're going to continue the conversation in the Facebook group, the Elementor community. You can go there in the link in the description. Let's get started.
Sure.
Amitai, we got a lot of questions that had to do with the direction and the vision of Elementor. And Aditya Sharma asked, how do you see Elementor evolving in the next 5 years? I would love to know more about the product vision. Can you share about where the company is headed?
Yeah, for sure. And great question. Thanks, Aditya. So, Elementor's mission has always been to empower web creators, and that, continues to be the mission. From a product perspective, we're looking at three main tracks. Innovation, investment in the existing product, and the third one is really expanding Elementor as a platform. By innovation, what this means is this is what we have been doing up until now, right? Like just adding new features, keep innovating, come up with ways to make sure that our web creators have the tools they need in order to build the best websites. We've got in the short term we've got a lot of really cool features coming up. Loop builder, containers, nested elements, CSS transform. So really keep adding more and more functionality to the product. If we look farther ahead, I think that there's a lot of interesting things that are happening right now in the web. In terms of the architecture. Things like the Jamstack or headless. Things that has the potential to really change the way websites are being built. A lot of emphasis on speed and performance. So I think that we can expect things to or websites to become much more dynamic. Personalization is probably going to be a big thing in the future. So I think there's a lot of room for innovation there, and we'll keep making building the tools for our users to be able to build for that future. The second track is really investing in the existing product. I think that there's a lot that we can do to improve the existing product, make it better. We have been doing that in the past year, but it was mostly focused around performance. And I think that going forward, we would really like to expand that to other areas of the product. I think that for especially for our pro users, users who use that product every day, like hours a day, and really kind of build their business on top of Elementor. I think that there's a lot that we can do to make sure that their lives are better and more productive, and a lot that we can do to improve the experience. And I think it's really important that we invest a lot in that as well. And the third track is really about expanding Elementor as a platform. And what I mean by that is that our mission is to empower web creators, and obviously building the website is the main thing, but there's a lot more that we can do to help our web creators be successful. We can help them grow their business and promote themselves. We have the experts product, right, for that, and help them develop professionally and progress and improve. We just launched the Academy, Elementor's Academy, very recently. Help them extend Elementor's functionality using code, and create products for Elementor. You know, we've just did a full rewrite of our entire developer documentation website. You know, I'm hoping that we'll be able to launch that very soon. So I see a lot of room for innovation and a lot of things that we can do really to help you know, web creators build a successful business with Elementor.
Wow, that's a lot to look forward to. And I'm sure our web creators would love to know that beyond new features and new innovation, we're really looking into expanding the current features and making them better and more evolved. So talking about innovation, another important field of innovation revolves around e-commerce. And Noam Abu asks, when will you provide a complete WooCommerce builder solution, including checkout, cart, etc.?
Thank you, Noam, for that question. Very soon. Both you know, cart and checkout widgets, you know, with a lot of customization options are coming out in the next Elementor Pro version. We've already released some WooCommerce features in the last Elementor version. You know, we revamped the menu cart widget and you know, added dynamic tags for WooCommerce. So yeah, these are all coming up in the next release, and you know, that feature request has probably been one of the most you know, the most requested feature that we've had in the past year, and I think that, you know, that makes total sense, right? And I think that you know, especially in the post-COVID era, you know, e-commerce is really kind of exploding. You know, everybody's moving their stores online, and obviously the market for and demand for online stores, you know, keeps rising. And I think that makes total sense that, you know, our users will, you know, would like to have you know, the same level of flexibility that they have, you know, when using Elementor just with WooCommerce. And the reason it took us a little bit of time to ship this feature is because it was really important for us to make sure that, you know, we provide as much you know, design flexibility as possible, but we also really wanted to maintain compatibility with the WooCommerce ecosystem. And you know, the easiest thing would have been to simply just write our own kind of widgets for WooCommerce, but then you know, it would have compromised that compatibility. So we really took the time there, and after a lot of research and a lot of testing, we came up with features that I think that provide a lot of design flexibility, but also maintain that compatibility. So yeah, it's really exciting to finally get those features out, and you know, I look forward to see, you know, the amazing stores that our users build with those widgets. Cool.
And do you think we'll reach a point where designing a store will be as easy as designing you know, a landing page?
You know, designing stores is obviously, it's a bit more complex, but you know, we're definitely going to keep investing in adding features for commerce. We've got a lot of things planned for 2022. You know, we understand that this is something that you know, our users need, and you know, this is the focus. So we're definitely going to keep investing and come up with ways to make that easy and more robust.
You mentioned before about WooCommerce that it took long because it's such a complex product. And this is a good segue to the next question by Stefan Grolio. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Why does it take so long to implement feature requests on GitHub?
So you know, if something takes a long time to ship, it's usually either because, you know, it takes a long time to build, or because, you know, it touches, you know, underlying infrastructure that can involve a lot of a risk, you know, in terms of breaking existing websites. We really try to prioritize high impact, high value features that we can ship fast. But the fact is that, you know, a lot of the times those things, you know, they take effort and take time to build. You know, when we build those features, it's important for us to build them right, you know, the Elementor way. And I think that, you know, the additional breakpoints feature is a great example for that, right? Like that has been the most requested feature, and we got a lot of criticism for not shipping it, and all we wanted to do is really ship that feature, and the easiest thing would have been to just, add those breakpoints, but, we knew that just adding those breakpoints would have a really negative impact on the performance of the editor. So it was really important for us, to take the time and make sure that we build that feature, the right way. It wasn't easy, and it definitely involved some risk because we had to change a lot of the infrastructure of the editor. But we actually ended up, shipping a really good feature, and now it's not only that it doesn't have a bad, negative impact on the performance, it actually improves the performance of the editor. So I think that I think we can probably do a better job, communicating those things to our users. I think that if the community kind of understand or understood why we're taking so long to ship that feature, it would have been better. And I think that we should do a better job communicating that. And this is kind of part of the reason that we're here now, right? Improve the communication and provide this dialogue.
Keep the dialogue going, and of course we did manage this year to really scale up the feature releases. Can you share about that?
Yeah, so a lot of the work that we do now is really kind of making sure that our processes, our development processes, and everything is more efficient. And we're hard at work. It's really important for us to make sure that not only we deliver the best features, but also that we deliver high quality features. Both from a development perspective, but also from a product perspective. Sometimes it takes the time, but we're getting better and better, and I think that it's important for us to balance those the quality with the velocity, and I think that we're definitely moving in the right track.
Cool. Amitai, we got a long list of questions about upcoming features. It's not surprising, and these included dynamic capabilities, repeaters, loops, and conditionals, CSS grid, mega menu. When can we expect those features?
Very soon, and even sooner for those of you who have the developer edition installed. These are all super exciting features. Some of them are already in the developer edition, and others are being in late stages of user testing. So we're putting a lot of work, making sure that like I said, we build these features right. And some of them, I hope we can get all of these features really, this quarter or early next year. So it's really exciting to finally get those features out. The loop builder, again, it's one of the most requested features of all time, and really going to give users the ability to customize every element of every repeating element. So whether it's posts or galleries or what have you, and containers. We're gonna start with Flexbox, but containers are really going to change the way that you build with Elementor. It's going to have a dramatic impact on the performance in terms of the number of DOM elements that Elementor is generating on the page. So it's going to really reduce that number. It's going to give user a lot of design flexibility when building responsive and fluid websites. So really exciting to work on those features, and I hope that we can ship them very, very soon.
Cool. And people also asked about Form Builder. Is there something coming up there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So right now, all those features that like the containers and the nested elements that I haven't mentioned, which allows you to kind of nest elements within other elements. These are all the building blocks for features that we're about to release, like the mega menu. Another feature that have been very highly requested feature. This is building on top of the nested elements, and also form design. Better, more capabilities to design forms. This is coming up sometime in the next year. Absolutely.
So again, a lot of things to look forward to. Another recurring issue is, of course, performance. People ask a lot about that. João Ortega asks, are web speed enhancements in your short-term roadmap, and in particular, Core Web Vitals?
Absolutely, yes. Like I mentioned earlier, performance, is only becoming more and more important in terms of the experience of websites. We've invested quite a bit in performance in the past year. Really changed the way Elementor is loading assets and scripts and CSS. Kind of tried only load what you need to render the page. We did a lot of improvements both on the front end and the back end, and the way the page is being rendered. I've mentioned the containers that are coming soon. It's going to have a big impact on the performance in terms of the number of DOM elements, and how sometimes referred to as bloat. And we're definitely going to keep at it and come up with new ways to improve how everything is being loaded onto the page. When considering performance, there's a lot of it has to do with with skill and experience, because you can build the most optimized page in the world, but then your client goes and places like a 10 megabyte image, right at the top. Just slows everything down. So when we look ahead, we think about how we can design new features, that is going to help our users to make better decisions about elements that can impact the performance. So we have a lot of ideas on that front, and like I said, this is definitely a main focus area for us. We're going to keep investing in that, and yeah, this is we've got a lot of really cool,
like indicators and things that.
Yeah. And also, by the way, speaking to the fact that there's a lot of requirement for skill and experience, we've already released one course about how to improve performance. There's a new course that is coming up really soon. So I think that combining both the capabilities in terms of what we do to make the page load better with the features that help our users build more optimized pages, and the training are going to combine, make Elementor the best tool to build high performance websites.
That's true, and yeah, we did release a course recently, and we'll link to it, of course, in the description. For performance, what else is impacting website performance? What is there more to improve?
So again, a lot of it has to do with what we can load into the page. So right now we're trying to take a modular approach where you kind of break things instead of just loading the whole thing onto the page. You kind of try to break it down and make sure that you only load the script that you need for the widgets that are being used on the page. But again, media and big images, videos, background videos and images, can have a very dramatic impact. So all of those things, you have to treat it as a whole and just make sure that you take care of every little thing on the way. And we're already seeing some very great results just by the improvement that we've already done to the product. If you look at a few versions ahead and we compare that, and you can read in the community about users that are running those tests and already get some really good results.
I think in the last release there was like a 40 increase improvement in speed, and I love to see all those comments in the community where I updated from this version to this version, didn't do anything else, and got into the 90s and 100s of page speed. So I share that feeling that it's cool to have. So people are also interested kind of in the behind the scenes. Nicholas Zane asks, what is the process Elementor uses for QA and testing, and how does Elementor plan to improve testing in the future? So we did a lot of changes in the past year, so I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah. So the process that we use for QA and testing in general, changed a lot in the past year. It used to be quite simple, and it worked, but once you reach a certain scale, we had to come up with a new process, the reason that this is such a big challenge in our ecosystem, and the way WordPress works is just that every WordPress site is unique. Every site is hosted on a different hosting platform, with a different server configuration. There's a different theme installed, different combination of plugins, activated. The site itself, uses different features of Elementor and other plugins. So, manually testing every combination, like every permutation of every site, every single scenario is just, it's not realistically possible. So, we had to come up with ways of how we can scale that, and the key for that is really test automation. So, we're investing a lot in automation now. We're using, multiple tools and platforms, that allows us to both, run unit tests, but also, functional end-to-end tests, visual testing, you can see if a site, changes after an update. So, we were investing a lot in that, and the work is really kind of expanding the coverage, and try to get as many scenarios as possible. And every time we run into something or an issue, we just add that to the list of scenarios that we're testing for. So yeah, there's a lot of investment going on in that, and it's getting better with every and each release.
So you're saying there's a lot more to explore and to find that we're looking into?
Yeah, so we're looking at a kind of, again, multi-angle approach here. First, you try to scale the coverage with automation. We've also released the developer edition, which kind of allows users on development websites, and I trust our users to only use that on development websites and not on production websites. To get kind of ongoing releases of Elementor, so you both get to experience some of the features kind of early, but it allows us to get the feedback as early as possible, and then you can catch the bugs early in the process, which it's much easier to fix the bugs when you find them early. So this is working great. We've got over 30,000 active installs on the developer edition, so I encourage everybody to try it out on their development websites, of course.
And we mentioned we managed to scale production and features. Do you think it's related? Like we had 8 new features this year, 8 new releases, 34 new features?
Yeah. Once you get this thing going and it starts to get some coverage, it also gives you the confidence to release faster. So you can focus on development and shipping new features, and you can do everything fast. If it prior it took us days and sometimes weeks to test each version. That time really goes down dramatically once you start leveraging automation. So it takes us some time to get that coverage, but again, we scale it up and we get better with each release. And it's really important for me to say that quality is a core value to us from a product perspective. It's super important for us. Many of us here at Elementor, started out as web creators, right? And a lot of us kind of had to learn the hard way why it's important to test on staging before you deploy to production. And I think that it's really important for us to get to a place where we can ship those updates fast, but also really kind of remove that fear whenever you update. So a lot of work and a lot of investment that's going into that right now, and like I said, it's getting better with each release, and I'm very hopeful that we'll be able to really improve that dramatically over time.
Yeah, and if anyone in the audience is interested in joining the developer edition or the beta, they can follow the links we'll put there.